In every generation, there comes a moment when the world seems to pause, and the markets behave in a way that is so rare, so extraordinary, that it only happens twice in a century. This moment is not merely an economic cycle. It is a divine turning point, an opportunity wrapped in uncertainty, a breakthrough disguised as a breakdown.
Doctor,
David Yonggi Cho often reminded believers and visionaries that God aligns seasons of challenge with seasons of blessing, and that those who stand firm in faith during times of shaking are the ones who rise the highest when stability returns. Today, we are standing in one of those rare moments of history where markets, economies, and nations are shifting, and the people who understand this season are preparing themselves for unprecedented opportunity. In every era of human history, there comes a moment so rare, so defining, that it changes the trajectory of nations, economies, and individuals. These moments do not appear every decade, nor every generation. They appear only twice in a century. When markets tremble, when financial systems reset, and when fear spreads across the world, most people see danger, but a few individuals recognize destiny. Dr. David Yonggi Cho often emphasized that when God allows a season of shaking, He is preparing a season of rising. What looks like loss to the world can be the setup for the greatest breakthroughs for those who carry faith, vision, and a success mindset. Today, we stand at one of those rare historical intersections where markets across the world are aligning in ways that only happen once or twice in 100 years. These are the moments where new wealth is created, new leaders emerge, and new opportunities reveal themselves to those who are paying attention. When fear dominates the atmosphere, the average person retreats, withdraws, and becomes paralyzed. But those who understand the rhythm of history know that every downturn carries the seed of the next great upturn. Winter never arrives to destroy the tree. It arrives to prepare the tree for spring. Likewise, economic winter does not come to break those who walk with wisdom. It comes to prepare them for a greater season of abundance. Dr. Cho taught that faith is not just a spiritual principle, but a transformative power that influences every aspect of life, including finance and decision-making. When markets collapse and people lose confidence, faith becomes a guiding force that helps individuals stay calm, think clearly, and act with purpose while everyone else is overwhelmed by panic. Twice a century, markets descend into levels of fear so deep that the majority believes the world will never recover. But history proves the opposite. After every great collapse, whether it was the Great Depression, financial crises, technological disruptions, or global resets, the greatest rises followed. The people who changed their lives forever were not the ones who ran away from uncertainty, but the ones who stepped forward with courage and strategy. Wealth does not disappear during these seasons. It simply transfers from the frightened to the focused, from the emotional to the disciplined, from the doubtful to the visionary. This is why a success mindset becomes more valuable than money itself. Today the world is witnessing global shifts in technology, currency, trade systems, real estate, and investment patterns. Many interpret these shifts as signs of danger, but the wise interpret them as signs of transformation. When old systems become unstable, it is because new systems are being birthed. When old industries decline, new industries are rising. Dr. David Yonggi Cho believed that people rooted in prayer and purpose do not react to circumstances, they respond to calling. And this era is calling for individuals who are not controlled by fear but guided by clarity. The greatest investors in history were not those with the most capital, but those with the greatest understanding of timing. The rare moments that appear twice a century are not about money. They are about mindset, patience, and preparation. These seasons reward those who educate themselves, train their minds, and prepare their hearts to act when others hesitate. The true danger today is not the instability of global markets. The real danger is the instability within human minds. When the mind collapses, everything collapses. But when the mind stands firm in faith, strategy, and vision, even the harshest storm becomes a path to victory. Dr. Cho's teachings remind us that everything begins with an inner picture, a God-given vision that guides a person through uncertainty. When markets are resetting, that inner picture becomes even more powerful. Dreams must grow, not shrink. Preparation must increase, not decrease. Discipline must become stronger, not weaker. While the world sees falling prices, the visionary sees rising opportunity. While others see crisis, the believer sees calling. While the fearful see an ending, the wise see a beginning. Twice a century, markets offer a gift disguised as a storm. The ones who seize that gift are those who stay anchored in faith, sharpen their mindset, and move with purpose. This moment in history carries the potential to elevate those who are ready and redefine the future for those who dare to believe that what looks like a setback is, in reality, the beginning of a new era. In every century, there are only a handful of moments when the world shifts so profoundly that the people who recognize the change rise far above everyone else. These moments are not ordinary, and they certainly do not come every decade. They come only twice in 100 years, and when they arrive, the markets, the economies, and the very structure of global finance behave in ways that seem unpredictable to the untrained eye. But to those who think deeply, observe patterns, and understand the long rhythm of history, these moments are not signs of destruction, but signals of opportunity. Dr. David Yonggi Cho often emphasized that God uses seasons of shaking to prepare his people for seasons of abundance. When something breaks, something greater is being prepared, and when old systems crumble, new doors open for those who are ready to walk through them. During times like these, fear becomes the dominant emotion. People panic, withdraw, and convince themselves that nothing good can come out of instability. They stop taking action, stop learning, and stop believing. But the truth is that every great fortune, every major breakthrough, and every powerful transformation in history was born during a time of uncertainty. Markets only collapse in this rare way twice a century because such collapses are not merely economic events, they are resets. They clear the ground, remove the weak structures, and prepare the foundation for something stronger to emerge. Those with a success mindset understand this, and instead of allowing fear to dictate their decisions, they learn, prepare, and position themselves for what comes next. Dr. Cho believed deeply in the power of inner vision. He taught that a person's external circumstances can shake, but as long as their inner picture remains strong, they cannot be defeated. This principle applies perfectly to times of financial and market upheaval. When the world focuses only on what is falling, the wise focus on what is forming. Something new is always forming during these historic seasons. New technologies rise, new industries emerge, new investments become accessible, and new opportunities appear that were impossible during stable times. But only those who maintain clarity of mind and strength of spirit are able to see these openings. Fear clouds judgment. When people panic, they make decisions that lock in their losses and destroy their future potential. Those with the right mindset understand that the greatest danger is not the falling market, it is the falling mindset. A collapsing market does not destroy everyone. It destroys those who emotionally react without thinking. But for the individual who stays calm, studies the patterns, and trusts the process, These times become a stepping stone to extraordinary success. This is why twice in a century wealth does not disappear. It simply changes hands. The fearful hand it over, and the prepared collect it. History shows this pattern repeatedly. After the biggest economic downturns came the biggest opportunities. After depressions came innovations. After wars came rebuilding. After financial collapses came new industries that shaped the next era. And in each of these moments, the people who rose were not always the richest or the most educated. They were the ones who believed in their ability to act when others froze. They were the ones who saw possibilities where others saw danger. Dr. Cho's teachings about faith fit perfectly into this rare economic cycle. He taught that faith is the confidence to move even when the ground is shaking. It is the courage to plan when others are panicking. It is the wisdom to see beyond the present moment. When markets behave in this twice-a-century way, faith becomes not just a spiritual principle, but a practical advantage. It keeps the mind strong, the heart steady, and the decisions clear. Right now, the world is undergoing a shift in everything: technology, currencies, trade, energy, communication, and global cooperation. Most people are overwhelmed by the changes, but the wise understand that every great shift brings a new wave of opportunity. Those who align their mindset, sharpen their skills, and stay anchored in purpose will rise higher than they ever imagined. These rare historic seasons are an invitation, and only those who are ready will recognize that what looks like an ending is actually the beginning of a new cycle of growth, creation, and success. There are moments in history so rare, so extraordinary, that they only happen twice in a century. These are the moments when markets shake, economies shift, and the world seems to hold its breath. Most people panic and retreat, seeing only danger and loss. Yet, for those who have a vision and a success mindset, these moments are opportunities disguised as challenges. Dr. David Yonggi Cho often reminded us that God uses seasons of shaking to prepare people for seasons of abundance. When the world seems to crumble, it is not the end. It is the preparation for a new beginning. The markets are not just numbers and charts. They are reflections of human psychology, global shifts, and opportunities for those who are ready to act wisely. When fear dominates the minds of the masses, opportunities multiply for the few who remain calm. History has shown that the people who thrive during rare economic resets are not always the richest or most educated, but those with clarity of vision and disciplined action. Markets only behave in these extraordinary ways twice a century because such rare events are meant to reset entire systems. They shake out instability, reveal weaknesses, and open the door for innovation and growth. Those who understand this and position themselves carefully can take advantage of opportunities that are impossible to see during ordinary times. Dr. Cho emphasized that faith and mindset are more powerful than money because they allow a person to see beyond fear and respond to potential rather than panic. In these rare market cycles, fear can paralyze even the most experienced investors. Many see falling prices and shrinking opportunities and assume the worst. But those with a success mindset recognize that every collapse carries the seed of the next major rise. Every major downturn in history, whether the Great Depression, financial crises, or periods of war and uncertainty, was followed by unprecedented innovation, growth, and wealth creation. Those who succeed are not the ones who avoid the storm, but the ones who understand its rhythm and take strategic steps to benefit from it. Twice in a century, markets provide these unique windows for growth, and the prepared see them while the unprepared are distracted by fear. Dr. Cho taught that vision is a person's internal compass. External circumstances may shift, markets may fall, and systems may appear to fail, but the inner vision that comes from faith and discipline cannot be shaken. When markets behave in ways that occur only twice a century, it is not simply a financial event. It is a spiritual and mental opportunity. New industries emerge, new technologies develop, and new wealth is created in ways that are unimaginable to those who have not prepared themselves. Those who act with foresight, discipline, and clarity of mind can benefit exponentially from these rare moments. It is the mindset of preparation, not panic, that separates those who thrive from those who falter. During these historic market cycles, the greatest danger is not the volatility itself, but the fear and indecision it creates in people. Those who allow fear to dominate their thinking lose sight of opportunity and become trapped in cycles of reaction rather than action. The prepared, however, see the same situation differently. They see instability as a stepping stone, collapse as a signal for preparation, and uncertainty as an invitation to innovate. Twice in a century, wealth does not vanish, it transfers. The fearful lose, while the disciplined and visionary rise. Understanding this principle is the key to navigating extraordinary market events. The world today is undergoing massive transformations. Industries are evolving, currencies are changing, technologies are advancing, and global systems are shifting. Many people are overwhelmed and uncertain, but the wise recognize that this is exactly the type of rare, transformative cycle that occurs only twice a century. Those who maintain clarity of vision, discipline in action, and faith in their purpose will rise above the chaos. Dr. Cho emphasized that these moments are not simply challenges, they are invitations to greatness. Those who recognize the potential embedded in disruption, who act with strategy and patience, and who keep faith in their long-term vision are the ones who will emerge stronger, wealthier, and more capable than ever before. These rare market events are a reminder that success is never about avoiding challenges, but about responding to them with the right mindset, preparation, and vision. There are very few moments in history that define the course of generations, moments so rare that they occur only twice in a century. These moments are not just about financial markets or numbers, they are about human behavior, vision, and the ability to recognize opportunity when it is hidden beneath fear and uncertainty. Dr. David Yonggi Cho taught that God often allows times of shaking and uncertainty to prepare people for their greatest breakthroughs. The markets, the economy, and even entire systems may seem unstable during these periods, but for those who understand the bigger picture, these times are a gateway to unprecedented opportunity. The rare behavior of the markets in these cycles is not just randomness. It is a signal, a reset, and an invitation to those with the courage and mindset to act. During such rare market events, fear dominates most people's thinking. Panic becomes contagious, and hesitation is common. While many retreat, those with vision step forward. The reason these events happen only twice in a century is that it takes that long for the world to align in such a way that old systems break down, paving the way for something greater. Dr. Cho emphasized that faith and mindset are more valuable than capital because they enable a person to see beyond the immediate challenges and position themselves for the long-term rewards. When most people are reacting emotionally to falling markets, those with discipline, patience, and clarity are able to spot opportunities that are invisible to the fearful. History shows that true wealth is often created not during stable times, but during rare periods of upheaval. Every major economic reset, Every financial crisis and every time of global uncertainty carries with it a hidden lesson. It is a lesson in preparation, discipline, and vision. Markets only behave in these extraordinary ways twice a century because such events are catalysts for long-term transformation. Those who understand this act differently from the crowd. They do not allow fear to dictate their decisions. They do not wait for certainty that may never come. Instead, they study the patterns, analyze the systems, and prepare themselves to act when the time is right. Twice in a century, opportunities are presented that are so large, so transformative, that they have the potential to create generational wealth. Only those who are ready can seize them. Dr. Cho's teachings about faith are deeply relevant during these times. He believed that a strong inner vision allows a person to remain unshaken when the external world is unstable. External markets may rise and fall, economies may fluctuate, and uncertainty may dominate headlines, but the person with a clear vision and strong mindset can see the hidden potential. These rare market cycles create new industries, new technologies, and new opportunities for those prepared to act with both courage and wisdom. Those who wait for perfect conditions will miss the chance, while those who trust their vision and stay disciplined will rise to extraordinary success. During these cycles, the biggest threat is not the market itself, but the mindset of individuals. Fear and indecision can paralyze even the most capable person, causing them to miss the rare opportunities that arise only twice in a century. The prepared, however, understand that instability is not the enemy, it is a signal. It is a sign to sharpen skills, deepen knowledge, and position themselves strategically. Wealth does not disappear during these times, it shifts. The fearful lose and the visionary gains. Understanding this principle allows people to navigate rare market events with clarity, confidence, and purpose. The current global situation reflects one of these extraordinary periods. Industries are transforming, technology is advancing at unprecedented rates, currencies and trade systems are evolving, and uncertainty is affecting everyone. Most people focus on fear and loss, but those who maintain a success mind see opportunity. They recognize that times like this occur only twice in a century, and those who act wisely during these seasons will achieve outcomes that are impossible to replicate during ordinary times. Dr. Cho emphasized that faith, vision, and discipline are the foundations for success during periods of disruption. When others are frozen by fear, the prepared act, innovate, and grow. These rare market events remind us that success is not about avoiding risk, but about responding to challenges with clarity, courage, and unwavering faith in the long-term vision. Throughout history, there are rare moments that define generations, moments that appear only twice in a century, when markets behave in extraordinary ways and opportunities arise that can change lives forever. These are not ordinary fluctuations. They are global resets that touch economies, industries, and individual wealth. Most people panic during these periods, focusing only on fear and loss, but those with a success mindset understand that these rare market cycles are invitations to prepare, act, and grow. Dr. David Yonggi Cho often taught that God uses seasons of shaking to prepare people for abundance, and that what appears as a crisis to many is actually a door to unprecedented opportunity for those who are ready. In these moments, the difference between those who thrive and those who fail is not money, but mindset, vision, and faith. Fear is the natural reaction during times of uncertainty. People see falling prices, shrinking investments, and unstable markets, and they assume the worst. But history proves that great fortune and innovation are often born in the depths of crisis. Markets only behave in this extraordinary way twice a century because such rare cycles are necessary to reset systems, remove weaknesses, and prepare the ground for the next era of growth. Those who understand this pattern act differently. They do not allow fear to dictate their choices. They study the trends, observe the shifts, and position themselves strategically, knowing that what appears as destruction is actually preparation. Dr. Cho emphasized that faith allows a person to act with clarity and confidence, even when the surrounding world seems chaotic. During these rare periods, opportunities are abundant, but only visible to those who maintain focus and discipline. History is full of examples where people who acted decisively during financial resets created wealth that lasted for generations. After depressions, recessions, and economic collapses, the greatest innovations and industries often emerged. Those who saw potential in chaos became leaders, investors, and pioneers. Twice in a century, markets present such rare windows of opportunity, and the reward goes to those who remain steady, observe carefully, and act strategically. The secret is not avoiding risk, but responding to it with knowledge, patience, and vision. Dr. Cho's teachings about faith are especially relevant in these times. He believed that a strong inner vision allows a person to remain calm and focused, even when external circumstances are unstable. Markets may fall, economies may fluctuate, and fear may dominate public perception, but a person with clarity of vision sees beyond the temporary chaos. These rare market cycles create new industries, technologies, and innovations. Those who are ready to act, who combine knowledge with strategy and courage with faith, are the ones who benefit most. Waiting for perfect conditions often results in missed opportunities, while those who trust their preparation and act decisively turn rare moments into life-changing breakthroughs. One of the most important lessons from these rare cycles is that mindset matters more than money. Fear and indecision are far more dangerous than falling prices. Many people react emotionally and make poor decisions, but those who maintain a calm, disciplined, and purpose-driven approach see opportunity where others see disaster. Twice in a century, wealth shifts from the fearful to the prepared. Understanding this principle allows individuals to navigate the most uncertain times with confidence. Preparation, clarity, and resilience become the most valuable assets, and those who cultivate these qualities are positioned to take advantage of rare opportunities that others cannot see. The current global economic landscape reflects one of these rare periods. Industries are transforming, technologies are advancing, currencies are shifting, and global trade patterns are evolving. Many people are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear, but those who maintain a success mind see the potential. They understand that this is exactly the type of rare, transformative cycle that appears only twice in a century. By sharpening skills, maintaining discipline, and aligning with a clear vision, individuals can take advantage of these extraordinary opportunities. Dr. Cho's principles remind us that faith, preparation, and clarity of mind are the keys to success during times of disruption. While fear paralyzes, vision and strategy empower, allowing those who act wisely to achieve growth and prosperity that others cannot imagine. These rare market cycles are more than financial events. They are historical opportunities, moments in which preparation meets destiny and vision creates breakthrough. There are moments in history so rare, so extraordinary, that they only appear twice in a century. These moments are not simply fluctuations in numbers or stock prices. They are transformative events that affect economies, industries, and the lives of millions of people. Most people see only fear during these times, panicking and withdrawing, unable to recognize the hidden opportunities. Yet, those with a success mindset and clarity of vision understand that these rare market cycles are not just about loss. They are about preparation, breakthrough, and the chance to rise above ordinary limitations. Dr. David Yonggi Cho often emphasized that God allows seasons of shaking to prepare people for abundance, that times of uncertainty are not punishments but invitations to act with faith, courage, and wisdom. The markets behave in extraordinary ways only twice in a century because these moments serve as pivotal resets, creating new paths for those prepared to seize them. Fear is the natural reaction during times of financial upheaval. People see declining markets, collapsing industries, and shifting economies, and they assume the worst. Panic spreads quickly, and many retreat from opportunity rather than stepping into it. But history demonstrates that true wealth and innovation are often born in the depths of uncertainty. Every major downturn, every financial crisis, every global reset has been followed by unprecedented growth, innovation, and transformation. Markets only behave in this rare and extraordinary way twice in a century because it takes such long intervals for global systems to align in ways that create both challenge and opportunity. The people who benefit most are those who remain steady, observe carefully, and act with strategic vision. Dr. Cho taught that faith is not just spiritual, it is practical. It is the ability to move with confidence even when circumstances seem unstable, and the ability to see possibilities that others overlook. Opportunities in these rare cycles are abundant, but they are visible only to those who are prepared to see beyond fear. People who act decisively during financial resets often create wealth that lasts for generations. After economic collapses, technological revolutions, and shifts in global trade, the most successful individuals were not always those with the largest resources, but those who combined foresight, courage, and discipline. Twice in a century, markets open these rare windows of opportunity, and the rewards go to those who prepare, who sharpen their skills, and who align their vision with action. The secret to taking advantage of these periods is not avoiding risk, but responding to it with wisdom, clarity, and confidence. Dr. Cho's teachings on faith are particularly relevant in these extraordinary times. He emphasized that a strong inner vision allows a person to remain focused and resilient, even when external circumstances are unstable. Markets may fall, industries may shake, and uncertainty may dominate global perception, but those with clarity of mind and purpose can see the hidden potential. These rare cycles create new industries, new technologies, and new avenues of wealth for those ready to act. Waiting for perfect conditions often results in missed opportunities, while those who trust their preparation, remain disciplined, and step forward with confidence turn rare moments into transformative breakthroughs. The most important lesson of these twice-in-a-century cycles is that mindset is more important than money. Fear and indecision destroy potential far more than declining markets ever could. People who react emotionally often make decisions that lock in losses, while those who remain calm, disciplined, and focused on long-term vision find opportunity where others see only obstacles. Twice in a century, wealth is transferred from the fearful to the prepared. Recognizing this principle allows individuals to navigate uncertainty with confidence, using preparation, discipline, and foresight as their most valuable assets. Those who cultivate these qualities are positioned to achieve outcomes that others cannot even imagine. The current global environment reflects one of these rare transformative periods. Technologies are advancing rapidly, Industries are evolving, trade patterns are shifting, and economies are in flux. While most people are distracted by fear, those with a success mindset understand that these cycles occur only twice in a century, and that preparation is essential. By strengthening skills, maintaining discipline, and staying aligned with vision, individuals can access extraordinary opportunities. Dr. Cho's teachings remind us that success is not about avoiding risk, but about responding wisely, acting with faith, and remaining clear-minded during times of disruption. While fear immobilizes, vision and strategy empower. These rare market events are more than temporary disruptions. They are historical opportunities, moments when preparation meets destiny, and those who act decisively create breakthroughs that can shape generations.